Yes, in this particular session, I'm going to discuss about K-means algorithm and how does basically it works and some drawbacks of K-means algorithm. So, for K-means algorithm, we have to specify some numbers of cluster to separate or to find the classifications of the dataset. So, what it basically does is first it specifies the clusters, numbers of clusters. Suppose we are having k numbers of clusters here, so based on the numbers of clusters it finds k numbers of centroids from the dataset. So after finding k numbers of centroids from the dataset, what it does is it finds the distance of each and every data points from that centers. Suppose we are having three centers here, c1, c2, c3. So first it will find the distance of every single point from c1 and from C2 and from C3. Suppose for a particular point we are having the distance from the distance for a particular data point is to C1 is 3, and for another point for the same point the distance of the point to the centroid C2 is 7. So for the first one it's 3, and for the second centroid it is 7, and for the third centroid suppose it is 5. So what it will basically do is it assign that particular data point to the C1, centroid C1, because the distance of the centroid C1 and the data point is less, right, as compared to the other centroids. So it will assign that particular data point to the centroid C1. So by following this process only, it finds the distance of every single point of the data set to all the centers and find the clusters from the data set. So and the point and when the value, suppose after finding the first cluster, suppose C1 got some clusters and C2 and C3 also got some data points in that cluster. So after getting that, it again finds the centroid value by finding the average of all the data points. Suppose for C1 first iteration the value is 5 point something, and after that in the next iteration the value will be found by calculating the average of all the data points present in that particular cluster. So in that way it finds the centroid every time, and when the value of centroid it's not changing, suppose for a iteration it's coming 5.75, and in the next iteration also it's coming 5.75, that means the value is not changing, right? What basically we can say, like there is no new data points is coming to the cluster, so we can stop the iteration. So by following this process only the k-means clusterization works. So here we can see this is one graphical representation of, like, we are having two clusters here, and that star is representing the centroid of that two clusters. So it finds like based on the distances of that all the data points to the centroid. So here you can see the star lies in the center, and here also it's lying in the center. So you can just visualize the things, how its clustering works. Next we'll discuss about some drawbacks of k-means algorithm. So in this picture if we look, we can see like this yellow cluster is very smaller in size as compared to the other clusters. So when it trying to cluster this type of smaller data points or smaller clusters, then it's giving some error. Like we can see here when we are trying to classify or apply this k-means algorithm, here you can see most of the red points are coming inside the yellow, like it's classifies the thing wrongly, right? So here you can say, here also it's written the data points in smaller cluster may be left away from the centroid in order to focus more on the larger clusters. So in case of smaller clusters, k-means, the performance of k-means is not that much good. So this is one drawback of k-means algorithm. So in the next tutorial we'll see about how to implement this k-means algorithm in Python.